Saturday. Happy weekend. Hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me. Please follow the Queen here on YouTube and also the Newsbreak app. Download it on your devices. You'll get a notification when I upload content, posts, and or video. Let's get down to business. Documents have been released, and I find it very interesting all this information coming out about the girls and Brian Korberger. A lot to chop up and digest. The district attorney said he didn't ever want to mention his name again. But what's funny is now these documents are being released. He may never speak on to Korberger again, but Korberger is still the hottest topic. It's the gift that keeps giving, sadly. He is in solitary confinement, but yet he's still the hottest topic. He's been complaining allegedly to prison officials about noise complaints, blah, blah, blah. They have responded, saying he's in a safe security. He's going to have to deal with it. And as someone commented under the video, news video, you invaded their sleep and murdered them. And so now you're locked up and you're complaining that you can't sleep. The audacity. It's prison. People, they yell through the cells. That's just what they do. When they're locked up, their doors are locked, they yell through the doors. Deal with it. Was Brian Korberger Kaylee Goncalves' stalker? She thought that someone was following her. That's what was released in the documents. We have information also coming out from Miss Dillon that someone said they were trying to help her or care for her. Really don't know what to believe, because when you listen to Brian and read the documents, the word advised is used like 1,000 gazillion times, which was so annoying. This person advised this, and I was just like getting dizzy yesterday listening to this information, or late in the morning rather. She felt like someone was following her. Someone was at her car one day. Who was that guy? She's not here to tell us if Korberger was that guy. A random guy in the town where they lived, a student. What was the interaction? What did the person say to her? We didn't hear that she kept a journal or a diary of her thoughts. Was she his target? As I said to you all before, recently. And the day Korberger decides to return to this house, Kaylee shows up. Okay? Because everyone was trying to assume who Korberger was targeting. This mad Greek restaurant that you all wore in the ground. I got so sick of hearing about that, I didn't know what to do. When nothing has been confirmed, because he wiped his devices clean. He did that for a reason, because he didn't want anyone to know his thought process and what he was doing. He had not been to that house in 6 days. So pay attention now. He had not been to that house in 6 days. 2 days before the murders, he cut his Wi-Fi off. Why? How long was it off? I think he was out looking and lurking then. Pay attention. Had not been to the house in 6 days, had not been to Moscow or that area in 6 days, allegedly. But 2 days before the murder, he turns his Wi-Fi off. You don't know where Korberger was. He was probably plotting and planning. That's why he turned the Wi-Fi off. Going to places probably to buy his clothes, whatever. Shoes, hat, gloves, I don't know. I don't know if he ordered everything or if he was out, traveling 7 seas, going places to buy the items to get prepared for what he was going to do at King Road. Stay woke. 6 days, he's not stalking over there, allegedly. 2 days before the murders, he turns the Wi-Fi off. As I said in my live last night with a guest, Miss Evie, thank you for joining me. Could it be that he was also stalking their family members? Stay woke. Was he out looking about in those months on the ground in Washington, going to these places where their family members live, their family members' jobs? Because we learned that he likes to be out at night, stargazing, more like house gazing. House gazing. Will we find out? He followed Kaylee. Parents went to their home, watched, or any of the other girls. Okay? Because as I told you a story in my live last night of a woman who watched my content. Her daughter was being stalked here at the University of Tennessee many moons ago. And her stalker followed her all the way to Memphis, thinking she was there on spring break, but she was there. So anything is accessible as far as information. You can get information on a person, telephone numbers, addresses, schools. So it would not shock me none if we find out later in life that Korberger went to these people's homes, these young people's parents' homes, and just out of curiosity, just to see where they live, see how they were living. See, you don't know. I don't doubt that he girls at WSU. I won't doubt that he possibly was stalking other young women at Idaho, University of Idaho, and anywhere else. How do you know? Because he wiped his devices clean. You don't know where he was going through GPS. So it's no telling what Korberger was doing. But was he Kaylee's stalker? Was she being stalked? Well, one could say, hell yeah, she's deceased. Her friends, roommates, they're deceased. They all were being stalked because he had to watch the house to know who's coming and going. He probably learned her car tags, who car belonged to whom. He's very crafty with computers. He's studying psychology. As you heard, his own professor pegged him as a future predator serial killer. And voila, he fulfilled the prophecy within months of her documenting this in her notes or to whomever she was speaking to. Very scary information. It was said that one day the girls came home and the door was open, front door was open. But Kaylee thought it may have been a windstorm. Well, that means you never locked your door. Why not? Why not? I'm doing this live as a cautionary tale to people, young people specifically. Do you understand? You need to be aware of your faculties. You need to be aware of the company you keep. You need to be aware of the people you allow in your home. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to be aware because anything can happen to you inside your home, outside of your home. Okay? You all need to understand that. We live in a very dangerous society. And this man was obviously stalking these young ladies, okay? And this is what is more baffling, is that they're not here. They are not alive. And this man, whomever the target was, really doesn't matter. He was gawking around the property, front of the property, back of the property, up on that hill, great area view of the home, top floor. If not Korberger, it could have been anyone. And that's the point I'm trying to make, okay? It could have been anyone. I don't know who the hell is this knocking at my damn door like they're crazy. Like they're the police. Losing my train of thought. Was he the stalker? Is he this mystery person, Brian? Will he ever speak on what happened in that house? How he chose this house, the inhabitants of the house? That is the number one question. Maybe, maybe not. But the fact that these girls did not have that sliding door locked is bothersome. As Dylan allegedly put in the documents, I couldn't see why somebody would go out that door to drop off. That leads us to believe Korberger had been standing behind that property up on that hill next, in that parking lot behind the house watching. And he schmoozed on down that little embankment, made his way into the house, breaking and entering. And what scared me more about the door being open When the girls came home one day from wherever they were, I said, could have been the wind that opened it, or it could have been somebody with 2 feet that opened it. And they walked in and came back out and left the door open to let you know they had been in there. Washing machine running on another occasion when they got back from somewhere. So did you ask? We don't know. One of the girls asked one of the other young ladies, hey, who's washing something? And who leaves a washing machine running while gone? Most people don't do that. Washer or dryer. You stay home while your clothes are being laundered. When they're done, then you might go step out for the afternoon, evening, morning, whichever, come back home, then take your clothes out the washer, dryer, finish doing your laundry. I found that interesting. So we have a door open, washing machine running when the girls return from wherever. Was he in there? Had he been in his house taunting these girls? You know what I'm saying? Because you have predators who break into homes, steal items from the victims, homeowners, smell their clothing, urinate, do private things with on their clothes, their bedding. That has been reported, especially with rapists. Move things around. Had Kohlberger been in that house? And if he had been in that house, how many times did he go in? Because you have to use logic. If you're so keen on going over to this house, and it's obvious you were targeting these people, or 1, 2, it doesn't really matter. You've been over there a gazillion times. You just got to Washington in July. You're already over at King Road in August, getting a ticket late night, coming out of Moscow. Okay, let's put it together. How far-fetched would it be that he has made his way in that house, walked through, learned the layout, and that was also mentioned by Dylan in the documents, that possibly the person knew the layout of a house. Because really inside was not that big. Was not that big. And there's no way you can't hear movement. She even described the type of shoes she thought the girls were wearing. Kaylee going up and down the stairs that fateful morning, certain type of shoe they were wearing. She thought it was her going up and down the stairs, dog barking. See, this is even more creepy. Trying to put it together. He's incarcerated. He's not getting out. He was able to save himself from the death penalty, which he rightfully deserves, in my opinion. And then you have these documents revealing he said, she said, I think this, blah, blah, blah. And people naturally are curious. They're still wondering, what all did he do? What all has he done? Was he this girl's stalking? Did he ever go inside of the house, take anything, take pictures? Also, we learned about the Reddit situation. He was barred from Reddit December 30th, same day he gets arrested. How ironic. What did he post? Will someone from Reddit tell the public what he posted or the type of content he posted? What if we find out he posted those dead kids and the crime scene? Because you don't know what he had with him. Now, Dylan says he had something in his hand like a vacuum hose. I don't know what the hell that means. Maybe he took something else to use as a weapon to use against the kids besides the knife, the K-bar knife. I thought about that too, because Kaylee's face, they said, had some type of wounds on it, but didn't come from a knife. So did he have another object with him? Did he take a camera with him? Was his phone on him but turned off? They say it wasn't on. So naturally, if you turn it on, you got to turn it on to work the camera, as one of the experts said on Banfield. You're gonna have to turn it on to work that camera. But he's sick, and he's been plotting this nonsense in his head for months or possibly even longer. Because he only got to Washington in July. So you're talking about August, September, October, November. 4 months. 4 months. And for all we know, he was stalking as soon as he unpacked his damn suitcase. Could have found the girls online beforehand. Don't really know how he chose the school, why he chose that school. See, a lot of unanswered questions. And it's all scary because we don't know everything. My message to young people, older as well, a lot of us, we become too comfortable leaving our house, walking outside our house to do basic things such as check the mail, empty the trash, cut the grass. We don't lock the door. We don't lock our French doors to the patio. You go in and out, phone ringing, old days where the phone used to ring, you had to go inside. You don't naturally go lock your patio doors. You just go answer the phone, talk for a minute. Well, your doors are unlocked. And people probably still do it now in the age of having cell phones. You have to be aware. You cannot assume because you live in a small town, it's not very populated. There's no major crime in your neighborhood or the area where you live, whether it's rural, country, however your setup is. You cannot take your own life for granted. And I was saying this the other night while watching a program, and I have said this many times on the network. I don't ever want someone to be in control of my fate. This is the real reason why I don't even like being a passenger in people's cars. I'm very fidgety just being in your car, somebody else's car. I prefer to be the driver, even though I don't mind being a passenger. Don't get me wrong. Oh, I love being a passenger, because there's days, when you're driving, you get tired of being the driver. But as far as safety-wise, I'm worried about you not paying attention, fumbling with your iPhone, trying to connect stuff, look in the glove box, look down in the floorboard, looking at the visor while you're driving, and now I'm the passenger and I'm sitting there thinking, you're gonna kill me. It may seem a bit extreme what I'm saying, but I don't like anyone to be in control of my destiny. That's what I'm saying. Hang around. You live in a condo associations, all the same. You need to be aware. You have a lot of people who always complain, oh, they're nosy, they're this, they're that. Yeah, we got a lot of nosy people. We all can be nosy ourselves. Curiosity, kill the cat. But sometimes, asking questions and being aware just might save your damn life. And in this situation, these girls took their own lives for granted. Hello, bro. Because you cannot assume that nothing bad would happen to you in your house. I don't care where you live. I don't care if you're in New York City, you're in Moscow, Idaho, you're in Pullman, Washington, you're in LA. You cannot walk out your door and don't lock it. Because the one thing people don't seem to understand about people, as I just said, people are nosy and people watch and they listen. Just like right now, I live in an apartment. I know when the neighbor is coming out, and I also know if he locked the door. Let's just say it, person across the hall. If I see you coming out, hear you coming out, and I don't hear that click, that means you didn't lock your door with a key. Going in and coming out. Who better to be a predator in an apartment association? Perfect setup. Because you only got a few feet from door to door, side to side, across the hall. God forbid you're in a place that don't have security cameras. A person has been watching you, waiting for you to come home. That's all they need is to hear you rambling outside the damn door. You're fumbling around with your packages and your Kroger bags, your Target bags, and just come right out that damn door and bum rush you. push you in your door or drag you into their apartment. Stay woke. It happens all the time. This is why they tell women specifically to be careful when people wanting to offer you help. So as I am doing now, just because I live around a lot of sick ass people that you cannot trust, I tell you to sit whatever you're helping me with outside my door. Just like I had somebody help me bring a bicycle that somebody gave me to give to somebody else. I told the guy, just sit it at the door, I'll get it. I don't need him following me in the door to take it in, because you take for granted, oh, he's friendly, he seems nice, he's quiet, but once the door is closed, as my aunt once said, once the door is closed, all bets are off. All that person needs is for that door to shut. They throw that damn bicycle down, grab me by my damn neck, and strangle me to damn death and assault me. You have to think like that. You cannot get comfortable saying, he wouldn't do that. He ain't the type. What is the type? Just like Korberger, quirky, weird, dominant, like to overtalk people, there still was who probably didn't think he would be a killer. Now his professor, she thought that because she studies psychology. She studies people. So she saw the signs. But isn't that interesting? She saw the signs, but his own family, people close to him, may not have seen the signs because they don't study psychology. Only one other child did. And I don't know if that sister saw the signs in her own brother. But that shows you that everyone does not have the same knowledge and the same discerning spirit. And what have I always said on this now? What I see and hear, you don't see and hear. This is why a lot of people end up hurt or dead. They either don't care, they want to give people passes, or they just don't have a discerning spirit. And a lot of people were not given that gift. I do believe it is a gift from God. I've had it for many years as a child, and I'm thankful for this discerning spirit. Now, it's not to say I can't make a mistake and be in the company of somebody and get hurt, because at some point you do have to trust people. You have to let people come in to do work on your home, your apartment, maintenance man, cable guy. You don't have no control over that. You just have to pray. I'm allowing this person in here to do work. He or she is not going to harm me. They're not going to rob me. They're not going to try to assault me. You have to lean on prayer. And in this day and age, you better believe in God, because prayer might be all you got. You are put in a dire situation. But that's my commentary pertaining to Kaylee Goncalves. Documents have been released, more documents being released, news, people chopping it up, trying to bring, the updates pertaining to what has been said, evidence gathered, and it's all spooky and it's all scary. Thank you, Beth. You have to be aware of your faculties. You cannot take your life for granted. And I wish that one of those girls had said to the other girls, this glass door needs to be locked at all times. We cannot keep running in and out of here and not having it locked. We can't assume that nobody's going to walk around up this little hill and not open the damn door. Front door, it's got to stay locked. The house was set up weird, You got to take care of self-preservation. Stop assuming nothing bad won't happen to you, because I'm sure those girls thought the same. And that is why they're not here today. Had there been a security camera, you had an app attached to your phone, they had an app attached to their phone, you would have gotten an alert that somebody was sneaking around on the property. Front door, side door, back of the house. Climbing up, all those girls needed were security cameras. Outside, around the house, and inside. Attach it to the app. Anytime there was movement at the front door, you'd get an alert. You could even talk. You can answer. You could be at your job, school, and answer. Yes, may I help you? Uh-oh, the perpetrator now knows, oh, there's somebody in here. I thought nobody was here. But they were young and they weren't thinking. They were not thinking of a worst case scenario. And it happens all the time. Leaving your car door locked. I don't know how many people I have been around that I could literally just scrape their face off when they get an attitude about not locking their door. Like, I've had people give me ride places. My valuables are in their car, which could be my food, things I bought from the store. And they'll look at me and say, I don't gotta lock the car door. And I'm sitting here like, huh? We're out shopping. Why do you not want to lock your car door? Are you serious? You don't think a person won't, one, steal what's in the car. Doesn't matter what's in there. Doesn't matter if it's ho-ho cakes, a pack of steaks, a pack of Cokes. The point is, you should lock your door, your car door. You don't think somebody gonna go sit in your damn car, climb in the back seat and wait for you to get in? God forbid you got tinted windows. It's dark. Are you really gonna be looking in the back seat when you open your front door? Probably not. I'm telling you, I have seen this with men. I've been around 2 different men in a year. One visitor came to see me. He don't want to lock his doors. He was like that each time he comes see me. I say, you're going to park your car, you're not going to lock your door? Oh, there ain't nothing in there for them to steal. I'm like, well, they can steal the damn car. I don't care. Okay. Ignorance is bliss. Another neighbor, take me out shopping months ago. We're in an area with a lot of foot traffic, homeless traffic. Even though the area where I live in is very nice, but it's still mixed with all different incomes. So we have a lot of homeless transient people walking around. I got his truck full of groceries, and we pull up to this antique store. He wanted to go in this antique store and look around. He don't want to lock the damn car door. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? My stuff is in your car. Ain't nobody gonna steal nothing. Eventually locks the door. I can't stand ignorant folks. Right, exactly. The car can get stolen. Keys in, keys out, doors locked, windows up, don't matter. You don't give a perpetrator a reason to F with you. Listen to me good. You don't give a perpetrator a reason to violate you. Windows up in the house, beautiful weather, it's cool, you want to breeze, you need fresh air, doctors recommend it. Hey, raise your windows, but you only need them up for a little while. You fall asleep, you decide to run out. Perpetrator now got a way in, left the window up. Bathroom windows especially, you want to ventilate, I get it. But you need to remember, I gotta shut this window before I get out this bathroom. By the time you fix your hair, do everything, shut that damn window. Lock that window. If you gotta put a stick or something in it, depending on where you live or something, put it in there. Because a lot of apartments and everything are set up different. Your window might be on a fire escape, like in New York City, a big city, and anybody can come down, lift the window, crawl in, because everybody's situation is set up differently. You gotta think. And those girls weren't thinking. We also heard years ago about one of the doors was messed up. One of the girls' father had to come over to fix the bedroom door or something. Girls could have been just slamming the door, messed the lock up. I don't know. The point I'm making is, I won't doubt Kohlberger had been in that house. He had walked that house. He could have been in that house while they were in there at night. He's thinking they're asleep. No movement, lights are off. I'll just walk on in. I always ask that question. Did he do a dry run? Did Kohlberger do a dry run? Because 2 days before, they say he cut the Wi-Fi off. Why? because I don't want nobody knowing what I'm getting ready to go do. That means he was going to go look somewhere, do something. He didn't want the information to come up on the GPS. Checkmate. He could have easily did a dry run 2 days before. And that's why police, FBI don't have no information but 6 days before. They got him at 6 days before being at King Road. But 2 days before, he cut his Wi-Fi off. That's because he was out there circling, doing something somewhere in Washington and or Idaho, and he did not want to be tracked, and he didn't want that information coming up. And he just may take all these secrets to the grave. The targets, if he had ever been in that house, stole anything, took pictures, that buffering. The perpetrator needs something to hold on to. That's why I don't know if he intended to unalive Xana, Ethan, and they crossed paths. I don't know, but they're not here. Only expecting one girl to be in the bedroom, 2 in here, don't know. But there's a reason for the season. He possibly has done a dry run. He did a dry run right before the crime, right up until the. Let me make sure they ain't put no locks on the doors. Bingo card. How do I know I can get in? Hand palm prints on the windows. Can I slide the window up? Am I gonna have to break the window? Is there gonna be a door I can enter? Front glass door. Am I gonna have to scale up the second floor balcony and make my way into, a window? I believe he did a dry run. He did a dry run days before, and I won't doubt that he's possibly been in there even before a dry run and the actual morning of November 13th. Because you always have to remember about a person stalking the people in the house. They got to know they can get in. He's been over there damn near 25 times in 4 months, less than 4 months, okay? Stay woke. So I'm stalking this place. Boom, 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 boom. Run it over here, run it over here, run it over here. Well, then what's the end all? What's the catch all? I gotta know I can get in. That's where the dry run comes in. If I can get in. Okay? Let me see if I can get in. And that's even more scary. The fact that you would still risk going in on a day that you ain't really ready to unalive these people, but you just gotta check to see if you can get in. Do you know how scary that thought is, besides him actually breaking in and killing these kids? Is that he's possibly been in that house before, lurking around, looking, just opening the door to see if it opens and closes. Because he could have just went one day and just checked the door. 2 days before, he could have just went and checked the glass. Oh, it's open. I'll be back. Imagine if he's done that several times. Shimmied on down that little embankment, went to that glass door, and just slid it open, thinking, wow, they don't even got this door locked. Close it back. He didn't even have to open it that far, just enough to make sure it could open. And then he go back, get in his car, come back another week, whatever, push the door open, still open. They ain't even put a lock on this door. Maybe he went to the front door. Let me see if they got this door open. Why do you think he kept driving to the property? He's watching to see how they're living, coming and going, who's all coming in and out. And that shows you how brazen Kohlberger is. He didn't even give a fuck that there were lots of people, guys coming in there, guys spending the nights. I don't care. They all gonna go down. And he took a big guy down. Ethan was not a small person. So this is what I'm saying. This man was stalking his house for whatever reason, doesn't matter. Possibly did a dry run more than once, checked each door, knew he could get in because they wouldn't lock their damn doors. And imagine how many other kids living in that area were doing the same damn thing. And the gist of the story is that these girls were risking their lives even if Kohlberger never stopped them. Because you weren't locking your doors, you still were giving another perpetrator the opportunity to invade your space and your person. So if it wasn't Kohlberger, it was going to be somebody who fancied them, liked them, got an attitude, got mad, rebuffed. She don't like me. I'm flirting with her. She's not interested. Oh, I know they leave their doors unlocked. You think guys don't go back and tell stuff? They don't even lock their doors over there in King Road. You just walk right on in. They got 2 girls on the bottom, or 1 on the bottom, 1 on the second floor. The 2 girls are upstairs. Stay woke. People talk. Young people talk specifically. They post every damn thing. They got to tell their every emotion. They got to give their whereabouts. Hey, I'm live at Starbucks. I've been here an hour. This is why they tell you don't post your pictures when you're out of town and on vacation and you've left your fucking house unattended, because you don't know who's watching. I don't care if your page is private. Nothing is private anymore. How do you know that somebody that's in your little Facebook group, IG group, don't really like you? They got a problem with you. They got a problem with your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, your kid, don't matter. And you're just yapping away about your daily events, where you're going, what you're going to be doing, items you've bought, what you're spending. I have to tell an elderly neighbor that. You got to stop talking about what you're buying, where you're going, how much money you're going to spend. That's low rent anyway. To me, that tells me you're not used to anything. That's something common with poor people. They always got to tell people when they got money, when they're going to buy something, how much they're going to spend, who they're going to buy the gifts for. Nobody needs to know that. You say it all day, every day. Yes, it becomes daunting to keep listening to the same damn thing over and over. And I said it to her in a very diplomatic way. I said, you got to stop saying that. You got to stop telling people you're getting ready to go spend $200, $300 on this person, that person, because now you're telling the world, hey, I got money. Hey, I got money on me. Hey, I'm going to have the money tomorrow. And then you're pushing around in a motorized wheelchair scooter. You can't fight back. I said, what if the person comes out the apartment while you're putting your key in the door? You got a lot of bags. They might say, hey, can I help you? Or they may not say nothing. They might just give you enough time to push that little wheelchair on in the door. And you're trying to push the door, hold your stuff. You're vulnerable at this point. And then they just come right behind you and shove your ass on in that damn door and lock your door and have their damn way with you, beat you to death and rummage your damn house. And do you know the response I got when I told this person this a few weeks ago? She said, they don't know where the money is hidden. They don't know where the money is hidden. They'll have Well, let's think about that. Hey, Patricia, thank you, sweetheart. Once the perpetrator is in your house, all that SHIT you got in there jumped up, they got, and you're handicapped, and the house is packed up with stuff. Hey, Flora. So the money's got to be within reaching distance. Stay woke. Because you can't move around. Is everybody listening to what I'm saying? She can barely move around. Poor posture, small living area. She says she's got the money hidden. But what she ain't thinking about is you can barely get around. So wherever you got your money hidden, you got to be able to reach it. And the perpetrator's going to know that. He or she knows you ain't getting ready to go put it all up in the back closet because you ain't getting ready to climb over your sofa and go dig in there to hide the money because they know you're handicapped. You ain't going to do that. You're going to put it somewhere where you can reach it. Bingo card. You see, I love a food. I love a food. And to me, she's a mindset of an old food. And what you do not want to become, young people, is an old fool. That you have become so ornery and complacent that you think you are untouchable, and you think even as an old person, nothing bad can happen to you. Well, old people are murdered every day, just like young people are murdered every day. The perpetrator don't care about your age. You're pretty, you're tall, you're fat, you're short. You got something I want. And I'm going to get it by all means necessary. Don't be a fool. Don't be a victim. Don't give a perpetrator the opportunity to make you a victim. There may be a chance you can survive, but don't give somebody the opportunity to hurt you. That's what I'm saying. Close your windows. Lock your doors in your house. Lock your garage doors. Okay? Check that out of your house. And this is coming from security experts. They said, you want to see if you can get your house broken into? Then go outside your house and start fumbling with your windows and your doors. You see anything agape, that means the perpetrator can get in. And I don't think a lot of people think about that. Hey, let me go outside and check my windows. Let me go outside and check my garage door. Let me see if I can jimmy it and get in. Let me see if I can jimmy one of these doors. Just like patio doors. They're beautiful. But do you know Queen, every time Queen sees patio doors, I get nervous. It ain't even my damn house. But when I see them on TV and, the home decor videos, I start cringing like, glass. All you gotta do is hit the window pane with your damn elbow. Boom, 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 you're in. One window pane, stick your hand in, unlock the door. They're beautiful. They're very attractive. Patio doors, French doors as they call them. Just like in the UK, most of the doors have glass in them. And I'm always thinking, damn, all somebody got to do is boom, knock the glass out, stick your arm in, boom, open it up. Doggy doors, same thing. Take a sidekick with you, somebody small, and they can jimmy their ass through the damn doggy door, boom, 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 they're in. You've got to think about your space. You also need to think about an escape route. Will I be able to get out of here? I'm in my house, I'm in my room, and especially in a small room, which those girls were in a small room on that third level, they were trapped. You heard Mr. Goncalves say his daughter was in the corner because the bed was pushed up against the wall. She was trapped, face mutilated. She fought back. She and Xana. So yes, they would have more wounds. Was she the target? I don't know. Did he do a dry run? I don't know. But he wiped his devices clean to some degree because he did not want anyone to track his movements in case he got caught. He knew what he was doing, but he did get caught. And we can thank genealogy and his relatives putting their genealogy inside of that database. Amen. I want you to be safe, especially young people. Classes are going to be starting here soon at the University of Tennessee, and you have to be careful. Kids are walking around the campus, near the campus. They don't pay attention to nothing. I see them all the time. They're all standing at the stoplight, waiting to cross the street, going from class to class, blind, looking at their phones. They can't even hold a conversation without looking at their phones. Walking and talking with their classmates, looking at their phones. You have got to be aware. College student, adult, don't matter. Elderly person, it's all the same. You got to get your face out that phone. You're out and about in the city, walking around, shopping, all that. Man, give that phone a rest. Because when you're out dealing with money, shopping, you need to be aware and you need to have your ears open, your eyes open. You do not need a distraction. A cell phone is a distraction. Pushing a cart of groceries, big ass buggy full, and you're steady talking to Peter Paul Dick about what you're gonna cook for dinner and hey, can you go pick this up? Talk to them when you get in your damn car and your door is locked. Put everything in your car. Push the buggy back to the buggy stall. Go get in your car. Lock your door. Because a lot of you got that bad habit. You get in your car and you're steady fumbling around with stuff. You ain't even locked your damn car door. Now, some cars naturally, as soon as you shut the door, automatically locks. But you need to be getting on your way. I've seen it. Grocery store shopping, women pulling the hatch up, SUV, la-di-da, taking your time, like Alice in Wonderland, purse in the buggy, and you just taking your time unloading the stuff, putting it in your trunk, your hatch, with your purse sitting wide open in a buggy outside in the public, as if nobody could just walk by and grab your damn purse. Why Queen don't carry purses, big purses anymore. I don't have nothing to put in them. I love purses, they're beautiful. I've carried gorgeous bags over the years as a young person, designer handbags. I don't carry them. I've gotten rid of most of my purses. I only carry crossover bags. I'll carry a clutch for evening out, on the town. If I'm going to do, like wedding, church, bar, something like that, I carry a clutch bag for, for something pretty, but it ain't no purse. It ain't no big purse. It ain't no big Gucci, Louis Vuitton bag, Dooney and Burke, where people think I got money. Oh, the thieves, they know designer handbags. Oh, she got a big old Gucci bag. I bet she got some money. You got all your personal stuff in there. What do you need your personal stuff for? We live in a modern day age. Everything's on the apps, email. You don't need paper in your purse, all your personal information, your documents from the doctor's office. Don't take that stuff with you. Don't put it in your glove box. Don't take your Social Security card with you. You don't need it. You don't need it. I've ran it enough. I want you all to be safe. I want you to be aware of your factors. And you see how during this live, somebody was banging at that door like they were on fire. And what did I do? I lowered my voice so they wouldn't hear me talking, to let them know, oh, she ain't there. And as the woman in the office said last year when I was moving in, She said, that's the purpose of the peephole. You don't have to let anybody into your apartment. Exactly. You can look out. You don't want to be bothered with the person on the other side of the door. You go walk back and do whatever you were doing before they knocked. That's why they tell you to always put something down in front of the door, like a towel or a phone. That way they don't know you're standing there looking back at them. They don't see your shadow, you know what I'm saying, walking towards the door. Now, I'm all the way in this room. I never got up. I wasn't going to get up. And I don't know who it was that was knocking. Don't matter. Leave a note. I don't keep company. Nobody spends the night. Nobody visits regularly. You understand what I'm saying? I keep it peace and copacetic. Because I've learned a lot of foot traffic usually causes problems as well. And that is something that everybody needs to understand. Because you can be an older person, you could be a younger person. Depending on what type of company you keep, what type of person you are, your company can get you in a dire situation. And I think you know what I mean. You're doing illicit things like drugs, illegal activity. You got wayward people running in and out of your house. You could become a victim that way. They hurt you, harm you. Somebody comes there looking for them, looking for you. Oh, you hang with them. See, I think of everything. Because I live in an urban jungle. So I don't have no choice but to be aware. Like I said, I live in a place with a lot of foot traffic. A lot of strange people are always walking around on the property. They just walk up. They're up here for a reason. I know why they're here. I don't have to say it on the live. Use your imagination. I, as a woman, have to be careful. Going in the door, coming out, getting in the elevator, walking to and fro. You have to be careful. You can't assume that everybody's nice because they smile. They want to offer you some help. Oh, I'll help you carry that, blah, blah, blah. And I told myself this week, ain't nobody else coming in this apartment for nothing. Ain't no more, being nice and letting you come in the house and you can say whatever you want to say. You say what you got to say to me outside in the street. No more neighbor. You understand what I'm saying? Even though I didn't have a lot of company, but there have been a few people I might have let come in to talk because I don't like talking at the door and I don't like talking in the hallway because, your voice echoes. Ain't no more of that. And I don't want to go in nobody else's apartment for nothing. Nothing. As I said, I'll see you in the street outside the front door. We can talk out there, but I don't want nobody in this apartment from this building. And I don't want to go in their apartments for nothing. As I told a neighbor last night, he was saying, oh, why don't you come in and look at my apartment? Because he got locked out of his apartment and he was able to finally get his door open from a maintenance worker who just so happened to live in the other building. And that person finally woke up and took the emergency call, which was so crazy. That's a whole nother story. I just knocked on his door, which I shouldn't have. And I said, oh, just checking to make sure, you're okay. Because really, I don't really care for him. But, I try to turn the other cheek. What was the first thing he wanted to do? Ask me to come in. It's after 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. No. I'm not coming in your apartment. I said, no, I can't. I got to go. I got to push this little push car thing I had. I said, no, I can't. I can't come in your house. Well, I just want you to see my apartment. I know how he is. You all don't. You would think a person who just been locked out their apartment for hours would want to go carry their black tail to bed. He's pushing around in his little, electrical chair, scooter, thinking I'm going to come in there. Queen's not going in your apartment. You're not coming in here. I will talk to you outside a door, at your door, but I'm not going inside. Wheelchair bound or not. Because when you know a person's character, you've seen them in action, being very flirtatious, always saying things in a certain manner, you know damn well not to go in their apartment, especially dark 30. I wouldn't set myself up for that. Follow the Queen on the Newsbreak app and here on YouTube. Check out my extensive library, 4,000 plus videos in the queue. Check out my posts on my community page of breaking news. I do not discuss naturally every story of breaking news, but I will post certain things that pique my interest, and I put the videos on my community page. I just uploaded some shorts pertaining to Kaylee Goncalves and Brian Korberger, the latest updates. So those are in the queue as I speak. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Beganji129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you for all those who have hung in there with me the past couple of years. I've been on this wire since summer of 2019. So I've been here a few years, and I want to thank you for those who subscribe, view, those who unsubscribe, that's fine too. Thank you for patronizing. As most of you know, I'm a warrior for the children. I'm a right fighter for them kids. Don't really care too much about adults. Because, hey, when you're grown, you do what you want to do. I'm not here to tell you how to live. You do you. But the children, I care more about because they can't defend themselves. So I'm all for advocacy for children rights, the livelihood of children, because they are our future. And we all were once children. And you don't get to pick your family and your parents, your environment. So children deserve the best so they can be productive adults and not become a YouTube video and storyline and news story. We all make mistakes. The point is trying to redeem yourself. As for Mr. Korberger, that's between him and God. Redemption. Remorse. To me, he's a very lucky man because he was not put to death, put on death row. He may never speak about what he did to these kids. He may never tell the truth, where he put the weapon, why he did it, what else he's done, who else he stopped. But he's got to stand before God. He got to tell God why he killed those kids. And in the end, it really doesn't matter, the motive. Because think about that. Why? As I always say, you think like the killer. Why not? I did it because I could. And he did. There's no logical reason anyway why he snuffed out those children. There's no logical reason. He had no right. Please be aware of your faculties, ladies, young people, older people. Know that you are not exempt from becoming a victim of a crime. Don't give anyone the ammunition to make you a victim. Trust, we must do. We have to trust someone. Blind trust is inevitable. But be aware and always message other people to let them know somebody's coming here, the painter, somebody's coming to cut the grass. Just send the message to somebody anyway. And just say, you don't hear from me in 20 minutes, an hour, send the cavalry. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. Thank you for your time. God bless all of you. I will try to give you a movie for this weekend to watch. I have not watched anything in the past couple of days. So I'll try to find something juicy for you guys to watch this weekend. For those of you who may be staying in or be in tonight and you want to have something really delicious to watch, I'll try to find something here in a couple of minutes to share on my community page, especially for those of you who love mysteries. Many of you know I am an avid fan of the British. I love the British mysteries. I really do like the Brits. They have very interesting mysteries. So I kind of like watching a lot of British mysteries. But I'm going to try to find something really hot and juicy for you all to watch. And then you come back and comment and tell me what you think of the movie, if you liked it or not. And, just let me know. You all have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. Stay hydrated. It's still warm. And sorry about that. Buffering. There's a storm brewing. I think it's coming out of Puerto Rico, if I'm not mistaken. So be safe if you're in Florida. Don't know where it's going to touch or land, but just be safe if you're on the bottom, in the bottom states, East Coast. Just be safe, everybody. Love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. You have been listening to the Vault Excel. Thank you for your time.